Obviously, extremely happy for our team. Great team win, specifically on the defensive end. Thought the second half we really, were able to take control of the game defensively. Had some guys make some big plays. Johnny Davis, I thought, really stepped up first half, and then the rebound and the kick out for Tyler's three was huge for us to get some separation. But really watching Northwestern on tape, knew we were going to have our hands full defensively because they could score a lot of points and have put up a lot of points on teams. So, like I said, just proud of our guys of how they figured out and found a way, and obviously had a lot of balance on the score sheet as well. So, questions?
Start with Jim.
Greg, what did you like specifically defensively in the second half from your team?
Well, I thought we did a better job of stopping the ball and not letting it get in the paint. Thought the first half we had some didn't execute well enough in some of the ball screen situations. Second half we were better. We talked about some of those things in the halftime, and the second 20 I thought we were more aggressive in the ball screens and eliminated some of that dribble penetration.
Jeff.
Yeah, Greg, you mentioned Johnny Davis. He hadn't been shooting well, and sometimes freshmen can tie their identity to whether their shot goes in. What has allowed him, especially tonight, to not fall into that trap and to contribute as he did on both ends?
Well, I think the thing that got him going was getting to the free throw line. He got there and got fouled in the first half, went up and made both free throws, and that seemed to ignite him. And that's often the case for whether it's a freshman or senior, anybody in between. If they're struggling a little bit or want to get some confidence going, find a way to get yourself to the line. And I think that was big for him. And obviously he was active on the glass. And like I mentioned, the offensive rebound that kind of busted the game open with Tyler's three was a big play, hustle play by Johnny. So, but I think that really the catalyst and the igniter of that was the free throws.
Zach.
Greg, I have a non-game question. So it's been a couple months since we asked you about Lauren Bowman. I'm just wondering if you have any kind of an update on him and when or if you're expecting him back.
Yeah, I don't know when in terms of when he'll be back. That's really not it's more in the medical hands of that type of decision. He is re-enrolled, I believe, in school. I'm going to walk back into a little bit of things academically, virtually, and do it from his home in Detroit. So, like I said, we'll just continue to help him, help the family, work through, his situation, and whenever that time comes when it's appropriate for him to come back. I don't know when. I don't have a date, a time. The main thing is to walk this forward at what is best for Lauren and his family. So I think jumping back into school that's a step in the right direction. But again, that's just one small step. So, but that was good news to see that he was going to attempt to come back and do some things academically.
Josh.
Greg, that stretch, I think it was about 5 minutes into the second half. You had Johnny, Trevor, and Tyler all on the floor together, and it seemed like they were working pretty well together. What did you think that stretch sort of did for you guys? It seemed like that might have been kind of the stretch that separated. I know you were talking about that three-pointer, but just what those guys did as a whole.
Yeah, I thought we got the ball in the paint. We had started, I think at one point we had 6 possessions of no points, but as I looked at the stat sheet, I think we were 0 for 6 from 3 and 1 for 9 from the floor. But we were 2 jump shot happy. We got 2 3 happy. But I think we got some things corrected and redirected in the right direction of attacking the basket. Trevor got there a couple times. We were able to Tyler got in there as well. So we were able to get the ball deeper in the paint and get it into more high percentage areas, which helped get us going a little bit offensively.
Carly.
Coach, you talked about that play that sparked that offense in the second half. How does that illustrate what Tyler can bring when he's on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, his confidence is growing. He's working at it. He spent a lot of time in the gym working on his perimeter game. But I think what you're seeing is the evolution of a player that got some experience as a freshman, used it in the offseason, albeit it was a totally different offseason for everybody. But he used that to build in the offseason. And now you see as he's go through he's working his way through this year that He's playing much more confidently. And, the 2 threes he hit against Indiana were big for him because he needed that shot in the arm to kind of reaffirm that the hard work he had put in and was putting in and continues to put in is paying off. If you're constantly in the gym and working on it and worked on it in the off season, but you're not seeing the fruits of your labor be rewarded, hence you're not, producing with what you've worked on in games, that can be discouraging. So that's why I felt it was really important for Tyler to have that, that moment for him at Indiana or against Indiana was big. And now hopefully he can continue to build upon that and grow his confidence as his game grows.
George?
Greg, just now after the game with Aleem out shooting on the floor, what kind of pointers were you just giving to him?
Some of the things that we, have talked about in terms of, the best way, like I mentioned with Johnny, with how you can really, if you're struggling a little bit, the way to get your game going is to get to the free throw line, attack, post, get on the offensive glass, get an offensive rebound, put back, get fouled, go to the free throw line, see the ball go in. And we've talked about that, with a lot of our guys, that's the best way to kind of ignite yourself and get yourself into a high percentage area and do things, some, as Jeff mentioned, it's not just freshmen, it's everybody that sometimes gets their emotional barometer tied to what they do offensively. And you're always trying to redirect and make sure they understand that there's other ways they can impact the game. And so that was just kind of in a nutshell what that conversation was about.